Today is an absolutely huge day for both SoFi and HIMS. We have a lot to talk about as it relates to SoFi's earnings. And in a key interview with the CEO, Anthony Noto, he actually outlined some even bigger growth initiatives than I think a lot of us were actually expecting for a couple of different offerings that are going to be coming in the near future. HIMS engaging in an absolutely awesome partnership over the next few years here. We have a lot to talk about with these two stocks, but we also have to talk about the broad market because, again, guys, understanding the big picture of everything that's happening around the world from a macro perspective makes it a lot easier for you to make better, more well-informed decisions in the present. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys do enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you guys in these videos here, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you absolutely nothing to do it. And if you never want to miss another video like this, make sure you are subscribed, and most importantly, turn on notifications so you're notified every time these videos do end up going live. And I, as always, got to give a shout out to all of the members of the Less Trades, More Profits community. I'm going to throw up some of the screenshots of the gains on the screen right now. Shout out to all of you guys. Again, you guys are absolutely crushing it. If you guys do want to hop in with us, make sure you guys use code TRADE, get 30% off your first month. You guys get access to all of the educational curriculum videos, both the educational courses, the pre-market plans, the full watch list of stocks and cryptos that are about to explode before they do, the private live streams every single day, the macro research reports, and the single stock research reports, which tonight I am posting my next big research report for you guys. This stock has some absolutely insane potential over the next couple of years here. It's definitely not one that you want to miss. So if you're interested, check out that link down below. But let's start talking a little bit about SoFi here. I know there's been a lot of talk about them getting back into the crypto space. There have been some interviews with the CEO recently that have kind of been a little broad in what they're looking to do with crypto, but we just got a lot more information today that I think is very, very important and actually expands the scope of what they are looking to do in the crypto space, which could generate them a lot of revenue moving forward. So let's actually play that clip from Anthony Noto and then break it down.
Why don't we hit crypto first? Where are you in that journey at this point?
Well, the first thing I'd say is the regulatory environment is definitely evolving, and it's going to allow us to re-enter being able to offer crypto coins in our invest product, the ability to buy, sell, or hold cryptocurrency. And we hope to be able to do that over the next 6 months or so. In our earnings call, we'll talk about the fact that over the next 6 to 24 months, we want to enter cryptocurrency and blockchain activities in a much broader and more significant way. Again, it's dependent on the evolving regulatory environment, but so far that environment's been really positive. We want to be able to offer blockchain products and crypto products across every area that we're currently in. So across lending, across paying, across investing, and as well as protecting. We think it's a technology more than anything else, and we can use it to allow people to pay easier at lower cost, to pay faster, and over time be able to capture some of the opportunity by providing infrastructure services to third parties via our technology platform. So it really will cut across every element of our business.
What is the blockchain business and crypto business in the lending space ultimately look like to you?
Again, it's going to be subject to the regulatory environment, so I just have to caveat that. But today, we provide margin loans in our invest business where you can borrow money against your securities, against your assets. We can do the same thing with cryptocurrency. If we custody the cryptocurrency, we can provide a secured loan against that currency. Again, a lower cost of lending for our members, just like margin loans are, but an asset that they can borrow against, just as they do their home or securities in their invest account.
Right.
So as we heard in that clip, not only is SoFi looking to offer the basics, the ability to be buying and selling cryptocurrency, but also having crypto and the technology that comes with it entrenched in every element of their business here. Lending, payments, everything, which is honestly a very, very positive thing to see. And I think, again, as Anthony Noto said, is a much broader look at adding crypto back into the arsenal of SoFi than I think a lot of people were expecting previously. Now, again, he did say many times in that little clip there that a lot of this is going to depend on this new regulatory environment that we are heading into. Now, yes, we do have a very crypto-friendly administration, but SoFi's not just going to sit on the sidelines and take whatever this administration gives them. When we come over and take a look at this, we brought this up briefly in yesterday's video. SoFi has this in one of their job postings, which is incredibly interesting. We are seeking an experienced government affairs leader to build awareness of SoFi's mission, products, and social good initiatives among policy elites and strengthen the company's understanding of the U.S. policy environment. The Director, Policy, and Government Affairs will partner across our business units and central legal, regulatory affairs, and communications teams to develop and implement policy engagement programs that support our mission and our ability to better serve members and clients. So this really looks like they are looking to hire people to help, one, lobby the United States government to enable them to kind of get out of this new administration everything that SoFi wants, but also to get a better and more clear understanding of where this new regulatory environment is headed here. So again, very, very positive developments there. Now, just taking a look at the chart of SoFi here, I know a lot of you guys might be a little bit disappointed, especially after looking at how good these earnings actually were here. We did see SoFi up about 9% at one point today. And remember, if you guys have been paying attention to these videos that I've been posting over the last few weeks here, I did say that it was possible that SoFi could easily trade up to this kind of high 13, low 14 area before it kind of takes a breather and decides where it wants to go next. And again, we did rocket through that area today, but we did end up getting that pullback throughout the intraday trading day today. At the current time that I'm recording this, at about little past noon here, SoFi is trading at about $13.50. Now, for me, with an average at 655, that is absolutely awesome to see. I don't plan on doing anything with this position anytime soon. And this has been a real big winner for me over the last year or so. Now, just kind of coming in here and breaking down a little bit of the revenues. Again, lending revenues were up 25%. Tech platform revenue was up 10%. Financial services revenue was up 101%. And as you can see here, we have now most likely surpassed 11 million users. Remember, Q1 ended a little while ago, and we did see one of those postings that suggested that SoFi was above 11 million members here. But again, at the end of Q1, we're seeing about 10.9 million members here. And then in general, taking a look at some of these overall revenue numbers, again, record revenue, $771 million versus the expectation of $739 million. Very, very solid beat on that front. Record adjusted EBITDA, $210 million versus the $173 million expected. Record net income and record EPS. And I think this is a good time to start kind of trying to get a lot of you guys that might be a little bit disappointed about the intraday sell-off here today, that this is a company that is going to be around for a while, and I wouldn't look at one of these earnings reports to be the make or break of SoFi. Again, these different developments are going to take a significant period of time to play out, and if your plan today was not to sell SoFi at, let's say, these recent highs that we saw of even 1850, if we were to have seen that move on earnings here, in this significant move to the upside all the way up to these highs of, let's say, 40%, and if that happened, you weren't even planning on selling up there, well, then this little action today really shouldn't bother you all that much, and the numbers that we saw out of SoFi today should really just serve to further your conviction in this company here. Now, again, none of this is financial advice. You guys can do whatever you like with your money, but I am very pleased with what I am seeing out of SoFi's numbers today. Now, looking towards what we could see out of SoFi and the price action next, again, it really is going to depend on the broad market factors, which we are going to talk about towards the end of this video, but we easily could set up what everybody in my trading community understands as the post-earnings consolidation setup. Again, after you see a significant revenue beat and really positive numbers here, you can sometimes see a very, very solid move the first day. Again, if you get that 5-minute opening range break, that post-earnings strategy that a lot of you guys know and love, but you can also see that post-earnings consolidation move where you see the market start to balance out, SoFi starts to consolidate before that next leg higher, and that is exactly what I'm going to be looking for to see if that does end up forming over the next couple of weeks here. Now, I do want to talk about HIMS as well, because this, again, another retail favorite, has had a lot of success over the last year or so here, and saw a very, very significant boost to price today, currently up about 28%. Decent chart setup here, consolidating right around that 200 exponential moving average. The news comes out and blast off. So what actually happened with HIMS today? So Novo Nordisk and Hims & Hers Health today announced a long-term collaboration designed to make proven obesity care and treatments more accessible, more affordable, and more connected for millions of Americans. As a first step, Americans can now access NovoCare Pharmacy directly through the Hims & Hers platform with a bundled offering of all dose strengths of Wegovy. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Wegovy is actually the third largest in terms of revenues in the GLP-1 space here. Ozempic is obviously number one. Mounjaro from Eli Lilly is number two. And Zepbound, also from Eli Lilly, is number four here. So having Hims and Hers and Novo Nordisk partnering up here is a very, very positive development and can potentially get these drugs into the hands of the people that do need them at a much more cost-effective rate. The companies are also developing a roadmap that combines Novo Nordisk's innovative treatments with Hims and Hers' ability to scale access to quality care, aiming to improve long-term outcomes for more people more affordably. We are excited to work with Novo Nordisk, a company known for breakthrough innovation in clinical medicine and a strong portfolio of medications. Bringing our teams together and continuing to explore our shared commitment and focus on delivering the future of healthcare has been inspiring. We share a vision of what consumer-centered healthcare looks like, and this is just the first step towards delivering that future. And when thinking about the obesity problem or obesity epidemic, if you will, as a whole, from about 1975 to 2022, obesity rates amongst women have about tripled, and among men, they've more than quadrupled here. So again, seeing these types of partnerships to be able to put these types of treatments or even solutions here in the hands of the people that need them are obviously going to be good for their patients, but also for Hims and Novo Nordisk. Now, I will tell you guys, those of you that have made it this far in the video here, Novo Nordisk is that brand new company that I am outlining a long thesis on for all of the members of my private trading and investing group this evening here. I've already established a position at around $62.55 of about 300 shares. Looking to add more. Once you guys see the research report, you'll understand why I'm very interested in this one. But again, if you guys want that full breakdown, make sure you guys check out that link down below and use code TRADE for 30% off your first month. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the broad market here as well, and we're going to come over and take a look at the chart of, again, S&P 500 futures here, ES. So when we're looking at this chart, ladies and gentlemen, and thinking about what has occurred over the last couple of weeks here, aside from this April 9th, kind of delay in a lot of these tariffs here, and the administration really shifting their view in tone from being very punitive when it comes to these tariffs to really being a lot more open to deal making. We have really only seen one significant positive week in the markets here. We really went from it's so over to we're so back in record time. And what I will say is that overall, this market is looking relatively good, especially with some of the positive earnings that we have seen. A lot of people were looking towards a lot of this earnings season to be an earnings season that would witness a lot of pulled guidance, lowered guidance, and honestly, a lot of misses on a lot of these earnings estimates. And that's not necessarily what we've seen so far. We have seen some guidance, especially from the White House and Treasury Secretary Besson, that we could be seeing some of these trade deals actually coming out this week. But what I will say is that there is always the potential for what has happened so far. In terms of that, the damage is already done with what we have seen, especially when it comes to China and these 145% tariffs. And when we look at some of the comments from the Apollo chief economist, again, I agree with some of this, not all of it here. Daily data for consumer traffic from China to the U.S. is collapsing. See charts below. The consequence will empty shelves in U.S. stores in a few weeks, and COVID-like shortages for consumers and for firms using Chinese products as intermediate goods. Now, Besson also came out today and said that he is not forecasting one of these big supply chain shocks here. But when you take a look at some of this data, it does look like this could occur in some way, shape, or form. In addition, we will soon see, begin to see higher inflation because there is a significant number of product categories where China is the main provider of certain goods into the U.S. market. In May, we will begin to see significant layoffs in trucking, logistics, and retail, particularly in small businesses such as your independent toy store, your independent hardware store, and your independent men's clothing store, with 9 million people working in trucking-related jobs and 16 million people working in the retail sector. The downside risks to the economy are significant. Now, This is where that statement that I made before, where the damage is already done, that's where this comes from. Because if they were to come to some sort of trade deal right now, it doesn't counteract the effects of all these shipments now not coming into the United States, because they are going to take some time in order to get here. And these supply chain disruptions can definitely lead to, again, some higher prices in the present. But if you've listened to anything that I've talked about as it relates to the inflationary effects of these tariffs, over, let's say, the last couple of months here, the actual midterm effects will be deflationary, not inflationary, due to the dropping demand that will result from a lot of these higher prices here. But again, we are going to be seeing GDP this week. Unemployment is going to be coming out as well on Friday, as well as on Wednesday. We are also going to be getting PCE, which is the Fed's preferred metric of inflation. Again, in general here, in the very, very short term, the market is looking okay. But we have to understand the big picture and understand the actual risks that are evident to us in any given market environment here. And this is definitely one of them in the midterm. So in general, guys, SoFi and HIMS are poised to have a very, very solid year in 2025 here. But again, we have to understand the overall risk to the overall system at any given time. So guys, that is going to wrap up this video here. If you guys did enjoy the information and analysis that I provided for you guys in this one, make sure you go down and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed yet, consider subscribing. And if you do, make sure you guys turn on notifications so you're notified every single time these videos do end up getting posted live. But until next time, guys, I will see you. Peace.